All right, so you've basically seen two ways that I test population statistic, parameter, um, sample, right? And that is to either give you sort of a breakdown of what's happened and ask you to identify which is which, or to give you a whole, again, another description and ask you whether I've given you a parameter or a statistic. So, I mean, you've seen it all. Exercise 1.3.3 is no different. So I'd like you to take a moment, pause the video, read through this, decide what the answers to A, B, and C are. So if you come back, in this particular exercise, we want to know what the population of this study is. So we have a political scientist who wants to know how college students feel. Now, population is the group we want to know information about. And here we see she wants to know how college students. I have laid it out. Just like I said in the last example, in order for it to be clear if it's a population or a sample, sometimes I have to tell you this piece. That's a piece that was missing in a lot of the stuff from 1.3.2. So college students, very vague, right? Now, what is her actual sample? Who does she collect her data from? And we can see in the end, she has 104 questionnaires returned. So she has data from 104. Now, those questionnaires were sent to undergrads from her college. Who returned the survey or questionnaire? I guess I can try to spell something. It's right above, so I should be able to do this. Double N, huh? There we go. And right off the bat, this is already pointing out some issues, correct? I mean, what are some reasons this is not representative? So here, this is the first time we're seeing this question, but 100% possible for a test. And it's something you see on the homework if you go into it. I have a question about babies and flights. Anyways, but it has you do the same thing. Like, what's wrong with this sample? And this just requires some critical thinking. So if you didn't pause before, I strongly suggest you do it now, because this is the one new thing and the one thing I'm going to expect you to be able to do. So we have some issues. I have a lot of students who get caught up on this undergrads only, right? It's not clear from part A if when she said college students, she meant undergrads only, but without that, this could be an issue, right? If she's interested in all college students, including graduate students, she left out graduate students. A bigger issue to me is it's her college only. This is a terrible way to find information, right? Her college may be very different. Just think about the colleges here in San Diego. UCSD, SDSU, and USD are about as different as three colleges could be. I mean, those are just the three big ones, right? There are more. But they are very different demographics of students, and asking at USD versus UCSD versus SDSU are going to give you very different answers. So to me, this is one of the biggest issues with her survey, is that she only went to her college, leaving out everyone else in the rest of the US, right? We know that certain areas of the country are predominantly more conservative or liberal, and she's looking just at one college, a tiny little snapshot, which is going to be a terrible, terrible way to measure all college students. Another issue here is that she had a lot of people not returned. Right? And think, who's going to be the most likely to return a survey? It's going to be the people who have the strongest opinions. We have what we call voluntary response bias. I'm lazy and won't write that all out, but voluntary response bias, which I sort of think of as like the Yelp effect. You look at Yelp, and the majority of times, because you can like toggle into Yelp and look at the different breakdown of stars. Most places, this is what the breakdown looks like when you look at their star ranking. There's like nobody giving 4s, 3s, or 2s. Everybody's giving a 5 or a 1. So the people who are going to return this, or the people who are going to go on Yelp and give their opinion or rate my professor or whatever it might be, are the people with the strongest opinions. So that is not everyone, right? That is not the general, that is not all college students. That's the college students who happen to have an opinion about Social Security. So there you go. That's sort of an idea and an example of why we need some sampling methods that might be better than what this woman did, because she's clearly going to get data. And that's actually a big problem, is a lot of people who don't know statistics very well design studies, they go out and they collect their data, and then they go and contact a statistician. And all you can do as a statistician is like, well, I can crunch these numbers for you, but I'm just going to get you a lot of meaningless data. I'm going to tell you how the most opinionated undergrads at your college feel about Social Security, and I'm not going to be able to answer your actual research question.